Hey guys! So as you may or may not know, I recently got an actual job teaching English over in Japan through Eon, which I'll be starting sometime this summer, which, oh my god, that's so cool! That's so cool! That's so cool! And this gave me the idea to do a series of video blogs that I've kind of been wanting to do for a while, which is about the process of studying abroad. This video series will probably be multiple parts since there's a lot of different things that I want to talk about, from the process of selecting and applying to a specific program, to getting ready to leave the country, to the process of actually flying over to another country, to settling in, to living long-term in another country, and also some of the emotional aspects of things like living with a host family long-term and dealing with anxiety, depression while you're over in a foreign country. So quick background so you know where I'm coming from. I studied from April to August of last year, 2014, in Nishinomiya, Japan at Kwansei Gakuin through the USAC program. I lived with a host family and all of my expenses except for my airfare and some of my food were covered either through the program or through outside scholarships. So the first step obviously is to pick out your program. To give you a rough timeline, you should be doing this a year or more ahead of where you actually plan to be going abroad. You should be thinking at this point about where you want to live, not just the country that you want to go to, like city size and culture and climate. Do you want to live somewhere that has a lot of historical sites or somewhere that's very urban and fun? The other thing to consider is what in the program is most important to you. For me, cost was a really big issue, and also my desire to live with a host family while I was abroad. Some people really hate the thought of a homestay. Some people need a lot of support from their program, and some people are fine kind of being able to do their own thing. Speaking of cost, this point, about a year before the program, is when you should be looking at scholarships, or at least starting to. Scholarship deadlines vary widely, from being open to you when you're still in the country to being due almost a year ahead of time. Looking into them now and putting a spreadsheet together is going to be your friend. So now that you know what program you want to go to, the next step is applying. For reference, this should be happening 9 months or even earlier before you plan to be going abroad. First things first, make sure that you have all of the important documentation that is going to take forever to get if you don't. Things like your passport, your social security card, your birth certificate, a driver's license, or other kind of photo ID. Next, you should be looking at your program's specific deadlines. My program's deadline was September for a program that started in early March, to give you some kind of reference. Most program applications are insanely complicated, so give yourself a ton of time to get this done. Some tips for you: do multiple drafts of your essay, have someone you trust go over the whole application to help you catch all of your typos. If the application is more than a couple of pieces, you should be making a checklist to make sure that you include everything. If you're sending it through the mail, you have to get it out at least a week ahead of time, and you should be scanning copies of everything that you put in an envelope to send to them so that you have a copy for yourself as well. So hopefully within a couple months, you'll know whether you got into the program. Congratulations! I'm going to assume that you did. Now you can start doing the actual hard work of leaving the country. For reference, my program through USAC had me filling out almost 30 forms during this part of the application process. It took weeks of hard work. This ranges stuff from homestay preference letters to personal statements to class signups to health checkups. This isn't even including the incredible fiasco of trying to apply for a visa. This is also the time to be talking to your school about the technicalities of you going abroad. If you want to be able to transfer credits back to your school, there's probably some kind of process involved there involving forms and getting signatures from a whole bunch of people, and some schools make you do that before you go abroad. If you try to do it after, they won't give you any credit, so be looking into that now so that you know what the process is. The vast majority of scholarship apps are going to be due in this time period, about 4 to 6 months before you go abroad. Don't let these pass you by because you're busy with all of your other applications. I know it's tempting, but because there are only so many students studying abroad at a given time, they're a lot less competitive and you're a lot more likely to get help. If you're studying in any kind of high-need region like China, India, or the Middle East, or if you're studying in any of the STEM fields, or if you're any kind of minority, then it would be a crime for you not to be applying to as many scholarships as you can, because many organizations focus specifically on those groups. Okay, this video is so long already, wow. So I'm going to cover all of the stuff about getting ready to leave the country and then actually getting yourself onto the plane in the next video. Leave comments down there if you have any other questions for me to answer about the application process or specifically what I went through. And if you want to see more videos like this, be sure to subscribe to my channel. I will see you all soon. This is the beautiful t-shirt that I received via my study abroad program. Isn't it adorable?